Gandhi just simplified it in a couple of sentences.
Word up, man. Thank goodness for Gandhi.
I love what you're about, man. And just going into the writing aspect, so you embody this. Everything you're talking about now, every time I meet you, it doesn't matter what, that's the feeling I get from it. You're bettering yourself. You're trying to better people around you by just being. You go into schools and colleges and places to teach this and get them into writing because you think that's a great platform to do it and a cathartic tool. Who give you that tool? Who did you go to where they said, you know what, Jonesy, you say a lot, you've got all these ideas, try getting it on some paper?
It's really interesting, man. To be honest with you, mate, it's something that's been sadly quite lacking from my life, and that's usually not the kind of thing that I really speak to anybody about other than my therapist. It's an interesting thing that therapists have documented, the idea that a lot of us come to do and teach and give the things that we feel that we're actually in most need of actually being given ourselves. You know what I mean? I wish I've not really had many people in my life growing up where I was kind of like encouraged or had people believe in me and things like this, or encourage me to participate in these types of empowering activities. I had some really good friends though, you know what I mean? And I feel grateful for that. I feel that for me, the bulk of the processes of empowerment I've been through like this, whether it's like creative writing and this sort of stuff, like rapping back in the day, started out rapping with my friend Alex Blood, and a little crew of us that were kind of just into that at the time. These were sorts of things that we were just doing to pass time on Saturday nights and stood outside the kebab shop at the precinct and things like this. But we felt so strongly about what had happened. You know, we were getting our education from listening to Tupac and Gang Starr and all these sort of like, you know, I was learning about American politics. I knew more about American politics and social injustices and things like this from listening to hip hop than I knew about the politics in the country that I lived from watching the news or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But I've not really been through a lot of the things that I do in my days, with my time, with my life, my passions that I've pursued and things like this. A lot of the things that I've done, I've been kind of like, not, it would be inaccurate to say self-taught, because of course, like, we're always learning collectively from other people, and we're kind of always learning from each other and that sort of thing. But I've been like collectively taught. It's not been as a part of a course that I went on or whatever it was like that. So these are things that I've picked up out of passion because I've understood or I've believed in the importance of teaching myself how to try certain things or do certain things.
I heard in a song recently, somebody said poetry came to me, and it made me really reflect, because I felt that, like, I'm again somebody that not just self-taught, but I was told dyslexic at school. I got laughed at once, and I remember that just stopped me writing. I hated writing from that moment. I was like, I'm not going near that. People laugh at you when you do that, but not in a nice way. And then again, I lost a friend. I had some bad things happen in my life, and I thought, fuck it. I'm picking up that pen, I'm getting a book, and I'm just going to write it out. And it was like a superpower. But it came in that moment. And that's why it made me so thirsty for it, though, because I discovered it for myself for the first time and not being pushed down a path or told you should do this or you should do that. I wanted it. And then that sent me on my path from there. So did you feel that burning from that? Yeah,
totally, bro. Like, I do have very fond memories of being like a 17-year-old boy who, to that point, had been kind of maybe feeling a bit uninspired with life or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But then I'd been listening to some kind of like conscious and